In today's video, I am going to be breaking down 5 different reasons why the price of oil continues to skyrocket, and why actually the whole world is going to be suffering from a massive issue of just price inflation of everything. Let's get down to it. So really quickly, why will the whole world have massive price inflation? Well, the reason is because everything we use uses plastic. Everything. This Apple Pencil has plastic. Literally everything has plastic in it. Paints, like what's on this tin can of Aha Pop stuff, that has oil in the paint. Everything uses oil. And because of this, guess what? Everything is going to be going up in price because oil is going to be hitting, right now is at a 7-year high, and it's going to just continue. The reason why it's going to continue, there's 5. Number 1, and that is they cut oil production. So we all remember way back a couple of years ago, about a year and a half ago, when the pandemic was literally just basically starting and oil went down negative $10, $20, $30 a barrel. They couldn't give it away. They had to pay people to take the oil. There was too much oil in the world. Airplanes use a ton of oil because they're flying. And guess what? When airplanes don't fly, guess what? Less oil. Guess what? When less cars are on the road, less oil is being used. Altogether, there was less oil being consumed. There was a massive amount of oil everywhere, and because of that, they cut production. When they cut production, that means that there's less staff. They lay staff off, which goes into my second point. And my second point is they were essentially, they have labor shortages now, just like everywhere. Everyone who fired their staff, got rid of their staff because of COVID, basically what happens now is because these companies, they can't hire these people back. They've gone to other industries. They've gone to other companies. They've totally left the workforce at all and decided to just take government payments. There are so many reasons why companies are not able to hire enough people. And because of that, at least in the United States, they can't find enough people to work in the oil sector because they shut down production, they laid staff off. They can't just turn on the oil production machine right away. It takes time. And then they're also worried about many different things. Number 1 is the pandemic. Are we going to have another really bad winter when it comes to the virus? Are we going to have to lay staff off once again? Is there going to be less oil being consumed because there's less people traveling, because COVID may be a winter type thing potentially, and there's going to be maybe less travel in the winter, and Christmas is around the winter, and that's what they're worried about. So because of that, they're not increasing production of oil, and because of that, if there's a limited amount of oil and there's a lot of need and wants of oil, guess what? Supply and demand. The price goes up. Then, on top of it all, they're worried about green technology. So some of the things that I've been reading is that they are worried about green technology basically making the world use less oil. And because of this, they want to have a premium on the oil prices because they want to get the money now, because they may not get the money in the future. If more people start using electronic cars, and if somebody finally produces an electronic jet, then guess what? And if there's more and more companies that are developing oils that are not ground oil but can be used in plastics, well, guess what? Now they don't have a place to sell their oil to. And no matter how much oil they may have, if they can't sell it eventually, maybe 10, 15, 20 years down the road, then they are just sitting on money that they can't get anymore. So because of that, what they're looking to do now, potentially, at least some companies, are looking to basically cut back on oil production to get that price as high as possible so that they can get the money now because they may not get the money later on. And then they're also worried about a couple of other things. And the biggest one being green activists. People who are part of Greenpeace, I guess you could say, or people who are really into the environment. They may start, and we've seen this at different areas around the world, where they may start protesting outside of a mine, and that mine eventually gets shut down because workers can't get in to get working. And these people who are green activists who probably don't have a job are now stopping others who have a job. So because of that, there's all of this happening, and altogether, that's basically the reasons why oil is going up in price. Now, what can we do about this happening? Well, there's a couple of different ways that we can actually spin this. We can actually invest in oil companies because they're going to be raising their dividend because they're not investing in themselves as much right now. They're going to be raising their dividends because they have to put the money somewhere. And then next is we can actually see what's happening in the future now, and we can invest in those green technologies because that's going to be the future anyways. These are my thoughts. These are my 5 reasons why the oil prices keep going up. I hope that you've enjoyed. I would love to know your thoughts down in the comments section below. I'll see you guys again next time.